Criminal Procedure Code. Let us discuss the provisions of Section 53A, which provides examination of person accused of rape by medical practitioner. This section was included in the Criminal Procedure Code by amendment, that is from 23/6/2006. What it says? When a person is arrested on a charge of committing an offense of rape, a person is arrested on the charge of committing rape or attempting to commit rape, and there are reasonable grounds for believing that an examination of his person will afford evidence as to the commission of such offense. Two requirements. A person is arrested on the accusation of rape or on the accusation of attempting to commit rape, and there are reasonable grounds. What grounds? For believing that his personal medical examination will afford evidence as to the commission of such offense. Personal examination will afford some commission of offense. Then it shall be lawful for a registered medical practitioner who is employed in a government hospital or under a hospital under a local authority to examine him, run by government, and in the absence, when such a practitioner within the radius of 16 kilometers, that person was arrested, and no medical officer, government medical officer, or a medical officer employed under the local authority is available, then he will be examined by any other registered medical practitioner at the request of the police officer, not below the rank of sub-inspector. So, for medical examination of an accused arrested for committing rape or attempt to commit rape, he is to be examined when his personal examination will give some afford evidence to prove the offense. In such case, that person will be medically examined by a government medical officer or a medical officer who is employed under a local authority, or if within 16-kilometer radius, such a government medical officer or a medical officer employed in the under the local authority is not available, then he will be examined by any other registered medical practitioner, a registered medical practitioner, at the request of a police officer, not below the rank of the sub-inspector. That means at the request of the assistant sub-inspector of police, assistant sub-inspector, he will not be examined. Only sub-inspector and above rank police officer, he will make a request, and thereafter the examination will be done. Then, not below the rank of a sub-inspector. And for any person acting in good faith in his aid, or any other person who is aiding the sub-inspector of police, at his request, such accused may be medical examined. And under the direction to make such an examination, if SI police is directed by the sub-inspector to make a request to the medical practitioner of the government hospital or who is employed in under the local authority to make such examination, then you will be examined. Then, and to use such force as is reasonably necessary for that purpose. If the accused resists the medical examination, then for his medical examination, force can be used. Sometimes you get a question in the competitive examination in objective type, whether medical examination of accused can be done by using force. Yes, Section 53A now gives power to the police that force can be, a person will be forced to medically examine. Because in a rape case or in attempted to commit rape. Similarly, in Section 53, we also find similar force can be used for taking DNA test, etc. You may also get a question whether DNA test of an accused can be done, or maybe is permitted under the law. Yes, that is under Section 53. That is the examination accused by medical practitioner at the request of the police officer. Similarly, when evidence will come to prove the accusation, in such case, compulsory examination may be done. Now, Then the registered medical practitioner conducting such examination, who in a accused who is arrested for committing rape or attempt to committing rape, in such case, the registered medical practitioner conducting such examination shall without delay examine such person. There should not be any delay in medical examination of an accused arrested for committing rape or for attempting to commit rape. Without delay, if such a request is made by a police officer of the rank of sub-inspector and above rank, when such examination of the person of that accused is required to find out to elucidate some evidence or to prove the offense. So for that, when such person is produced before the medical officer for examination, that such accused is to be examined without any delay and examine such person and prepare a report of the examination. When the medical officer examines, you will prepare a medical examination report of the accused, particularly in accused in rape case or attempt to commit rape. Following particulars, namely what? You see, you should remember also in that report will contain the following particulars. First, the name and address of the accused and of the person by whom he was brought. The medical officer will mention in his report the name of the accused, the address of the accused, and who has brought that accused, then the age of the accused, marks of injury, if any, on the person of the accused, that is also to be noted. Then the description of materials taken from the person of the accused for DNA profiling. Then the description, what material was taken for DNA profiling, or other material particulars in reasonable detail, whatever is taken. The report shall state precisely the reasons for each conclusion. When a medical officer examines accused for committing rape or attempt to commit rape, and gives a report, so he must mention the reason for his conclusion. If he gives a conclusion, suppose in his report, what type of conclusion is given by medical officer? What is the injury? Whether there was rape, whether there was recent that is relationship. Except their conclusion must be given. For what reason for which he is concluding, he is giving his opinion regarding a particular injury, regarding a particular fact. Then the exact time of commencement and completion of the examination shall also be noted in the report. Sometimes medical officers they forget the exact time when we commence the examination and when the examination is completed. That is also to be mentioned. Then the registered medical practitioner shall, without delay, after preparing that report, that registered medical practitioner, without delay, forward the report to the investigating officer. Investigating officer, not to the person who has made request. Investigating officer, who shall forward it to the magistrate, report in section 107. In 173 provides furnishing of charge sheet. After completion of investigation, the investigating officer gives his report regarding the result of the investigation. That is, we popular know police report, that is final report, final form, FF, which is final form, that is charge sheet. So, along with that report will be submitted to before the magistrate, along with the charge sheet. Part of the document that will form report in section as part of the document, report in clause A of the subsection 5 of that action. Now, section 54, exemption arrested person by medical officer. This is another provision. When any person is arrested, it is mandatory. Whenever there is an arrest, it is also amended, substituted by Act 5 of 2009. This came into force from 30/12/2009. Whenever any person is arrested, he is to be medically examined. That is a mandate. Mandatory examination is to be done. So when any person is arrested, it is in all case of arrest. Whenever a person is arrested, he shall be examined by a medical officer in the service of the central or state government. Now you must be aware, when a person is arrested by the police or anybody, not even magistrate also, whenever a person is arrested, he shall be examined by a medical officer in the service of the central or state government. And in the case the medical officer is not available by registered medical practitioner, soon after the arrest is made. Now it is very important provision. Now the police, whenever any arrest takes place, any arrest, whenever somebody is arrested by police, or even magistrate is not mentioned. Whenever any person is arrested, he is to be examined medically by a medical officer who is working under the central government or the state government. If such a medical officer is not available, then by any registered medical practice. Now, provided that where the arrested person is a female, suppose the person who is arrested is a female accused, the examination of the body shall be made only by or under the supervision of a female medical officer. So, in case the accused is a female, her examination, medical examination, soon after the arrest, is to be made by a female police officer. And in case the female medical officer, in case the female medical officer is not available, by a female registered medical practice. So now, female accused is to examine by a female medical officer or female registered medical practitioner. That is section 50. Where? Soon after arrest. Now the medical officer or registered medical practitioner so examining the arrested person. Soon after he will examine, who to examine? Any person, wherever he is arrested. After arrest, he is to be examined medically. By whom? By a medical officer who is working under the state government or central government. If such a medical officer, serving medical officer is not available, then by a registered medical practice. Then if the female accused there, female accused is examined by a registered female medical practitioner or a female medical officer working under the central government or the state. Then, soon after examination, that medical officer will prepare a report. The medical officer, registered medical practitioner, so examining the arrested person, shall prepare the record of such examination. He or she will prepare the record of the medical examination. But mentioning therein any injuries or marks of violence upon the person arrested, that medical officer will prepare a report, and in that report he will mention if he found any injury, if he finds any injury on the person or body of that accused or the arrested person. Here accused is not there, the person who is arrested, that is to be mentioned in his report. And the approximate time when such injuries or marks may have been inflicted. Popularly it is age of injury. Approximate time during which when such injury was caused. Where an examination is made under subsection 1. Subsection 1 is when a person is arrested, he was soon after arrest, he is to be medical examined by a serving medical officer. If it is not available, by a registered medical practitioner. And in that medical examination, after medical examination, the medical officer will prepare a report. Sorry, there was some network problem. Anyhow, that section 54 says whenever a person is arrested, he is to be examined soon after arrest by a medical officer who is serving under the state government or central government. If such a medical officer is not available, by a registered medical practice. Similarly, a female accused she is to be examined by a female serving medical officer, or in our absence, then by a female registered medical officer. After examination, that medical officer will prepare a report. In the report, he or she will mention if any injury was found on the body of the accused or the body of the arrested person, and what was the cause of what was the that age of the injury, that is when such injury was found. When an examination is made under section, a copy of the report of such examination shall be furnished by the medical officer or registered medical officer, as the case may be, to the arrested person or the person nominated by such arrested person. This provision is not followed. This provision is not followed in many cases. Soon after examination, medical examination, the copy of that medical examination report will be given to that arrested person. You see how it is violated. In many cases, in high-profile cases also, such direction is also not complied. That is, recently you might have seen in one case, in recent case, and a journalist he was complaining that I have sustained injury. But then the magistrate sent him for medical examination. But section 54 says, soon after arrest, he is to be examined by a serving medical officer, and it is the duty of the serving medical officer to furnish his report mentioning the injury and the age of the injury. What was the necessity for again sending the accused for medical examination? Because when such a direction is there in the Criminal Procedure Code in section 54, what it says? He shall be examined by a medical officer. You see how the law is violated, because that is a complete mandate, direction. Mandatory examination is prescribed as per section 54 of the CRPC. Every arrested person, there is to be soon after arrest, is to be medical examined. That is not followed in many cases. And not only that, the copy of that medical examination report will also to be supplied to be given to the arrested person. In very rare cases, such a report is given. Because you see, we have a very good law, but it is sometimes it is not full. Now, section 54A. Identification of person arrested. This is TIP. Previously, such a provision is not there. Under the now section 54A provides where a person is arrested on a charge of committing an offence and his identification by any other person or person is considered necessary for the purpose of investigation of such offence. The person is arrested for committing an offence and his identification is required by for the purpose of investigation by any other person. Then the court having jurisdiction, the court who has jurisdiction over the case may, on the request of the officer in charge of police station, who will make the request, not the investigating officer, only the request of the officer in charge of the police station, direct the person so arrested to subject himself to identification by any person. He will direct, the court will give a direction that there will be test identification by him. That he will be, suppose, he will make himself available. He will be subject himself to identification by any person or persons, even more than one person, in such manner as the court may deem fit. Then when test identification is permitted, section 54A, it has been also inserted in the Criminal Procedure Code by way of amendment with effect on 23/6/2006. But it provides a person is arrested for committing an offence and his identification is required for the purpose of investigation. For an example, unknown accused person, they committed crime. They committed the crime. When their identification is required, when a person is arrested on the charge of committing an offence and his identification by any other person or persons is required for the purpose of investigation of the case, then at the request of the officer in charge of the police station, not the investigating officer, then the court having jurisdiction over that case will direct the accused to that he should be subject to himself for identification by the person or persons in such manner as the court may direct, provided that if the person identifying the person arrested is mentally or physically disabled, provided the person identifying the person arrested, the person who is arrested is to be identified by a physically or mentally disabled person, such process of identification shall take place under the supervision of a judicial magistrate. So even executive magistrate can conduct the test identification. But when the person who will identify that accused is a physically or mentally disabled person, then such test identification parade is to be conducted, shall take place under the supervision of a judicial magistrate, who shall take appropriate steps to ensure that such person identify the person arrested using methods that person is comfortable with. So here, physically or mentally disabled person, if he is required to identify the accused, then such identification is to be done only under the supervision of a judicial magistrate, who shall take appropriate steps to ensure that such person identify the person arrested using methods and person is comfortable with. Because witness must be in a comfortable position. There must not be any harassment to the witness, because he is a witness. You will identify somebody. So that's why a duty is there with the that is in a gentleman manner, this in a very cordial manner, that identification will be taken. Provided further that if the person identifying the person arrested is mentally or physically disabled, the identification person shall be videographed. Again, a provision is there. Any cases we find there is allegation of committing rape against a mentally or physically disabled woman. In such case, identification is required. So in such case, that is to videograph. When provided further that the person identifying the person arrested is mentally or physically disabled, the person who will identify he or she is a physically or mentally disabled person, then in such case, the identification may be videographed. This is test identification. Where a provision is there, now previously such a provision was not there in the Criminal Procedure Code. By way of amendment in the year 2006, this provision was included as section 54A, providing that a test identification period can be done for the purpose of investigation under the criminal procedure. Now, section 55. Procedure when police officer deports subordinate to arrest without warrant. Sometimes the police officer, a sub-inspector of police, officer in charge of a police station, he deports a police officer below the rank of sub-inspector, assistant sub-inspector, to arrest someone. Then what procedure is to? Sometimes a police officer of higher rank also deports a lower rank police officer to arrest someone. What procedure is to? This section 55 says, when such a direction is given, when any officer in charge of police station or any police officer making an investigation under chapter 12, either officer in charge of police station or any police officer who is conducting investigation, requires any officer subordinate, to him to arrest without warrant. He requires that any police officer subordinate to that police officer is required to arrest any person without warrant, otherwise than in his presence. In his presence, he arrests. This section 55 is not to be applied there. But when such he directs a police officer below a subordinate police officer to arrest somebody, and any person who may lawfully be arrest any person who is lawfully be arrested without warrant, he shall deliver to the officer required to make the arrest an order in writing. He will give an order in writing. Suppose the sub-inspector of police once directs the assistant sub-inspector of police to arrest Mr. X, and X can be arrested without warrant. Then we will pass an order. He will give an order in writing, directing that police officer to arrest, specifying in that order what is to be mentioned, specifying the person to be arrested, who is to be arrested, and the offense or other causes for which the arrest is to be, because he will comply the provisions. That is arrest from, etc. We have discussed earlier. So he will mention in the order, specify the person who is to be arrested, and for which offence he will be arrested. And and the officer also required shall before making the arrest notify to the person to be arrested the substance of the subordinate police officer when he arrests any person as per the direction of the superior police officer. He will also notify to the person to be arrested the substance of the order. What the order will be communicated to that subordinate police officer? The name of the person to be arrested, for which offence he is to be arrested, and other cause for which the arrest is to be made. Also things are to be mentioned in that order. And when that person goes to arrest somebody, you will also notify that order to that arrested person. And if so required by such person, shall show him the order. If that person requires, please show me the order. Then you will also, if required, you will show the order. Nothing in subsection 1 shall affect the power of a police officer to arrest a person under section. This will not affect. Now, section 55A, health and safety of arrested person. It shall be the duty of the person having the custody of an accused to take reasonable care of the health and safety of the accused. Now, a duty is given, or there is a direction in law that whenever a person is arrested, arrested means he was taken into custody of somebody, either to the police. So it shall be the duty of the person having the custody of an accused. Here, custody of the accused means who? When police office, even judicial custody, when a person is sent to the jail, he is also in the custody of the magistrate. So what it says? It shall be the duty of the person having the custody of an accused. Now a duty is there with the court, with the police office. Whenever a person arrested is taken into custody, either to police custody or to the judicial custody. What is judicial custody? When a person is sent to jail, from the time when he is sent to jail, the judicial custody. He remains in the custody of the judicial, the magistrate. So it shall be the duty of the person having the custody of an accused. Whenever accused is kept in custody either of the police or of the court, then it shall be the duty of such officer to take reasonable care of the health and safety of the accused. Even also jail authority. There, a person is confined in custody, kept in judicial custody. So now it shall be the duty of the officer who takes any arrested person into his custody to take reasonable care of the health and safety, not only health, medical, but also safety. If he is attacked in the jail, that these duties held. It is even in the court premises when somebody is attacked, the accused is attacked, that safety is not there. So it shall be the duty of the officer who takes any arrested person into custody to take reasonable care of the health and safety of the accused. This is also included in the CRPC by way of amendment in the year, that is what, 2009, by Act 5 of 2009. Now section 56, persons arrested to be taken before magistrate or officer in charge of police station. When a police officer making an arrest without warrant shall without unnecessary delay and subject to the provisions herein contained, without delay and subject to the provisions herein contained means are contained in the Criminal Procedure Code as to bail. If bail is permitted, it will be given. So, when a person is arrested, a police officer making an arrest without warrant, with warrant, that is different. A police officer making an arrest without warrant shall, without unnecessary delay and subject to the provisions herein contained regarding bail. Herein contained means in the provisions of bail in the Criminal Procedure Code. Take or send to the person arrested before a magistrate having jurisdiction in the case or before the officer in charge. Suppose a sub-inspector of police makes an arrest. He will produce it before the officer in charge. If or send him to the nearest magistrate. Magistrate having jurisdiction. So what it says? whenever a person is arrested without warrant, then without unnecessary delay and subject to the provisions of bail, if any bail is permitted, you will be given on bail, you will be released on bail. If not released on bail, you will be taken or sent. He will take or send to somebody to the before the magistrate having jurisdiction or before the officer in charge of the police. Then section 57, person arrested not to be detained more than 24 hours. This is also a constitutional right that no police officer shall detain in custody a person arrested without warrant for a longer period than under all the circumstances of the case. Longer period than all the circumstances of the case is reasonable. And such persons shall not, in the absence of a special order of a magistrate under section 167, exceed 24 hours exclusively of the time necessary for the journey from the place of arrest to the magistrate's court. What it says? Within 24 hours from the time of arrest, excluding the time required for journey from the place of arrest to the court, is to be produced before the magistrate. Special, that is magistrate or the court. What is section 56? Section 57 also gives a constitutional right that is again reiterated here. No police officer shall detain. No police officer shall detain in custody a person arrested without warrant for a longer period than under all the circumstances of the case is reasonable. Here 24 hours is not the, in every case there should not be 24 hours. If circumstances were even less than 24 hours, no police officer shall detain in custody a person arrested without warrant for a longer period than under all the circumstances of the case is reasonable. That means, but it will not exceed 24 hours. Even prior to that, it will be produced. That law says. And such period shall not, in the absence of a special order of a magistrate under section 167. Under section 167, somebody magistrate passes order for police custody, keeping an accused in the police custody. If such an order is not there, exceed 24 hours. Exceed 24 hours. Exclusive of the time necessary for the journey from the place of arrest to the magistrate. Which to place of arrest to the magistrate. This is accepted. That is, no police officer has power to detain a person beyond 24 hours. Maximum 24 hours. Beyond, excluding the time required for journey from the place of arrest to the police to report apprehension. Officer in charge of police station shall report to the district magistrate or if he so directs to the sub-regional magistrate the cases of all persons arrested without warrant within the limits of their respective station, whether such persons have been admitted to bail or otherwise. Now, section 58 provides that the fact of arrest is to be informed by the police officer to the district magistrate, that is collector, or sub-regional magistrate, that is sub-collector. What is officer in charge? Who will report? The officer in charge of the police station shall report to the district magistrate, to the collector district magistrate, or if he so directs, if he so directs means the collector directs to the sub-regional magistrate. If the district magistrate directs to the sub-regional magistrate, the cases of all persons arrested. The cases of all persons arrested, that is to be informed to the district magistrate, or if the district magistrate so directs to the sub-regional magistrate. That what type of arrest? The persons who are arrested without warrant, within the limits of their respective states. Whether such persons have been admitted to bail or otherwise. Even if those persons have been admitted to bail or otherwise, the facts of arrest of all accused persons without warrant must be informed by the officer in charge of the police station to the district magistrate, or if his district magistrate so directs, to the sub-regional magistrate. Discharge of persons apprehended. No person who has been arrested by a police officer shall be discharged except on his own bond. When a person is arrested by police officer, he may be released on his taking bond from him, or on bail, or under the special order of him. So whenever a person is arrested, he can be released only on furnishing a fair bond, if law permits, or furnishing a bail bond if law permits, or for the special order of the minister. Power on escape to pursue and retake. This is another provision of the person in the police custody. He escapes. The police officer has power to pursue that person and to retake it. What is it? If a person in the lawfully custody escapes or is rescued, a person is in lawful custody, he escapes, or after escape he was rescued. The person from whose custody he escaped or was rescued, the person from whose custody was escaped or was rescued. Rescued means somebody was taken, some other person possibly taken, took away. If a person who is in lawful custody, he escapes voluntarily or he was rescued by any other person. Then, from whom such custody he was escaped or rescued was, may immediately pursue and arrest him in any place in it. That is, that person rescued means he was possibly taken. Here, the person from whose custody he was rescued or he was escaped, that person may pursue him to any place throughout India and may arrest him. The provision of section 47 shall apply to arrest under subsection 1, although the person making any such arrest is not acting under a warrant and is not a police officer having authority to arrest. Section 47 will apply. But section 47 we have already discussed. That is what from section 47. 47 means search of place entered by persons of to be arrested or entering a place to be person will also, though he is not the police. Arrest to be made strictly according to this is another provision, other precaution is. Why? No person, personal liberty can be curtailed without procedure established by Article 21 of the Constitution of India. A person will not be deprived of personal liberty, life and personal liberty without procedure established. So, here in section 60A, again that has been reiterated. That right has been safeguarded. What it says? No arrest shall be made except in accordance with the provisions of this code or any other law for the timing in force providing for arrest. You might have seen how this power of the police is, in many cases, is used, abused. You may say abused. Why? Because these provisions are not on. When in high profile cases, Section 68 gives a direction. Also, it's a right of the accused that he will be arrested only according to the provisions. Because Article 21, what he said, no person's life and liberty will be curtailed without procedure established by. Your procedure is this. No procedure provides this procedure that will follow for the arrest to curtail the liberty, to deprive the liberty of a person. So here, if that is not followed, he is entitled. That is violated. This fundamental right is violated. So that's why it has been provided. Section 68, arrest will be made strictly according to the code. No arrest shall be made except in accordance with the provision of this code. There cannot be any arrest violating the provision of this or any other law for the time being in force providing for arrest. If under any other special law is there, other safeguards are there, that is also. So section 68A. So this is also inserted in the year 2009. But he said, no arrest shall be made except in accordance with the provisions of this code or any other law for the time being in force. Because with a view to prohibiting arrest except in accordance with the code or any other law for the time being. So now we have completed the provisions regarding arrest. Next class we will discuss the provisions regarding process to compel arbitration. Thank you.